Hi, this is Nancy Buswell, and you are improving your English vocabulary using the TV show Friends. This is Season 1, Episode 2. The title is The One with the Sonogram at the End. I will show you sentences with words and phrases you may not know, and then I'll explain them. Now, notice that I don't explain every word that you may not know that you see in the show. For example, the title has the word sonogram. I don't explain sonogram because they show you what a sonogram is at the end. I also don't explain words that I think you just really don't need to know that are very uncommon. But I do explain quite a few words, as you will see. So we start with Chandler. He says, "It's like the stand-up comedian you have to sit through before Pink Floyd comes out." So a stand-up comedian is an entertainer who tells jokes. And Pink Floyd is, or was, don't know if they're still performing or not, but they were a famous band, a rock band in the 60s and 70s. Maybe the 80s too. I wasn't really into rock music as a kid or young adult. Okay, the museum employee says he's out banging other women over the head with a club while she sits at home trying to get the mastodon smell out of the carpet. So to bang here means to hit. Club is what he hits with. So a club is something that you can hold in your hand, usually made out of wood, to hit with. Kind of like a baseball bat. And mastodon, an old kind of, it's an extinct animal, kind of like an elephant. I don't think it's in the elephant family, but it's not around anymore. Ross, gee, that glacier's getting kind of close. Now, glacier is how Americans pronounce it. I believe the British pronounce it glacier. So a glacier is a huge amount of ice that's in the cold areas, and the glaciers are getting a little smaller now because of global warming. Phoebe, you're like all chaotic and twirly, you know. So chaotic means no order, and twirly, because twirly means to be turning around and around, is what Phoebe means, because Monica is moving here and there, cleaning before her mother and father come over. Rachel says, has anybody seen my engagement ring? So an engagement ring is a ring that a woman gets when the man asks her to marry him. And then when they get married, she also gets a wedding band, or they both get a wedding band. And the woman, the engagement ring and the wedding band are put together. That is, they're taken to a jeweler, and they're, you don't know that word, soldered. They're put together. But before she's married, she has an engagement ring, which shows the people that she's going to be married. Let's see, Rachel says, oh, like I wasn't dreading tomorrow enough. So to dread means to worry about something that's happening in the future. And it's a strong word. To dread means it's a lot stronger than to worry. And Rachel says, hi, Barry, I'm the girl in the veil who stomped on your heart in front of your entire family. So I'm the girl in the veil. A veil is a piece of cloth that covers usually a woman's eyes or a woman's face. In the U.S., brides, women about to get married, often wear a veil. And then, I believe, the father moves the veil behind, over her head, so that you can see her face after the father walks the bride, down the aisle to meet her future husband. So a veil is something that, in this case, that covers the face. Stomped on your heart. To stomp means to step on, but to step on very strongly. To stomp means to make a noise while you're stepping on something. Chandler, you don't get a lot of doy these days. Now, doy it's just a sound, doy. instead of duh or. Rachel, I know I had it when I was in the kitchen with Dinah. Okay, this is, she says when I was in the kitchen with, and then she has a pause when she realizes that she probably lost her engagement ring in Monica's lasagna. So there's a pause, and then Chandler says, Dinah, because there's a song, someone's in the kitchen with Dinah, someone's in the kitchen, I know. It's from the old folk song, I've been working on the railroad. I've been working on the railroad all the livelong day. And then later it goes, someone in the kitchen with Dinah. Monica's mother, what's that curry taste? Curry is a typical sauce used in India. It's a bit spicy. Monica's father, when you were chubby. Okay, chubby is a funny way to say fat. It's more polite than saying fat, or it's, fat is real direct. Chubby, chunky. There's several other ways to say fat where it sounds a little funny. Rachel says, hit the lights, please. So hit the lights can mean either turn them off or turn them on. In this case, hit the lights means turn them off, but it could also mean hit the lights. It could also mean turn them on. Rachel, so you got any advice, as someone who's recently been dumped? And here dumped means their boyfriend or their girlfriend broke up with them. So Ross was dumped, by his wife or ex-wife then. And Rachel dumped Barry at the altar, we say. At the altar means right when she was supposed to be getting married. Ross says, well, you may want to steer clear of the word dumped. To steer clear means to avoid. Rachel says, when did it get so complicated? Ross says, got me. Got me means, I don't know. Ross says, things change. Roll with the punches. So roll with the punches means just keep on going. Adjust, be flexible, just keep on going. Rachel says, my maid of honor, Mindy? And the maid of honor is the woman who stands next to the bride. So in a traditional American wedding, the woman chooses a maid of honor and 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever, bridesmaids. So the maid of honor might be her sister, might be her closest friend, and then the bridesmaids, could be sisters, could be close friends, cousins, whatever. And the man has a best man and then groomsmen. And it's always the same number for the men and the women. Barry, I'm an orthodontist. So he's a kind of dentist. The dentist helps the teeth, works with the teeth. Orthodontist helps straighten teeth that are crooked. So you see a boy sitting in the dentist chair, and he's getting braces, probably. We don't see a lot of it. But an orthodontist gives a child or an adult braces to help straighten crooked teeth. And then the doctor says, any nausea? And the three of them had just been fighting. Ross and his ex-wife and her girlfriend. They had just been fighting, and the doctor says, any nausea, which means, do you feel sick to your stomach? And they all say yes, meaning they feel kind of sick to their stomachs because they've been arguing. So that is funny. Chandler says, I don't know, but I think it's about to attack the Enterprise. So they're looking at the sonogram of the child, and Chandler says it looks like about to attack the Enterprise. It means it's a reference to Star Trek, not Star Wars. I get those mixed up because I'm not really into science fiction, but it's a reference to the old TV show Star Trek, Trek, Star Trek. The Enterprise was the ship, of course, a spaceship that they were on. Ross, are you welling up? And welling up means, are there tears in your eyes? Are there tears in your eyes, and are you about to cry? Rachel says, I know it was a cheap shot. So a cheap shot is when you unfairly attack someone, you know. So that's all for episode 2. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you found it useful. And I hope you have a good day.